Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. You know that, I know that, and I'm just a lady with a bulldog, a camera, and too many opinions. And today I have quite a lot of opinions about two gross people I stumbled upon on the internet, truly against my own will.
The only thing I had written down was say more.
You know how some people say words only have the power you give them, and then continue to build an entire career, although a sad one, just based on and full of slurs and hate, and doing that into a camera with your full chest and your full neck beard? Yeah. Well, that's basically Isabella Moody and her husband, Josiah. These are far-right MAGA influencers who have bragged online that their infant said the N-word and then seemingly monetized the backlash, as they do. They treat transphobia and homophobia and all of the other phobias except for arachnophobia like a personality trait, and it's gross. So today we're going to go through who they are, what they've done, and I'm going to hate every minute of it. It's going to be great. Before we get into it, let's do a disclaimer, okay? I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm not roasting you for whoever you vote for. However, the political climate that is the current state of the United States is truly insane. And of course, there's not just one side or another side. It is really a spectrum, and on either side of that spectrum, whichever way that pendulum swings, when it gets real far, it's scary, okay? There are culty aspects on either fringe side. That is important to acknowledge. And of course, there are people who have voted for conservative or Republican candidates, and then also people who have voted for Democratic or more liberal candidates, and who aren't total pieces of shit, and who aren't cult members, and who aren't just extremely ignorant and can actually have a conversation with you. Right? Okay. What I just said doesn't apply to these people. These people, in my opinion, are in a cult. They are very harmful. I don't think they should be parents, but that happened. And these people are very just scary. I mean, I'm not scared of them. I also haven't interacted with them. But the information that they put out there is very harmful to many people and really most demographics of people in general. Hi, friends. You know what's expensive? Me getting a little too excited for Christmas with my 2-year-old this year. Someone please stop me. You know what's not expensive? Is the price at which data brokers are selling your information to scammers and spammers and hackers and other creepy, nefarious people. Yeah, I know. Well, thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Aura, that's not really something you have to worry about. Aura is all-in-one digital security. Not only can they submit opt-out requests for you and take care of all that hard work for you and do little sweeps, little scrubs of the interwebs to make sure that your personal and private information is not out there, but they also have password management, fraud alerts for credit and banking, VPN services with over 100 different locations. I use that quite a bit, especially since my podcasting partner is in Canada. So a lot of times I have to set my location to Canada so that all these different platforms that we, share logins for and all that aren't like, hey, this person's trying to log in Tampa, and then just blocks us out of everything. And it is so frustrating. So having a VPN for that has been extremely helpful. Aura also has US-based support just in case anything does go wrong. And Aura also includes $5 million in identity theft insurance protection. Try Aura for free for 14 days using the link in my description box, or go ahead and scan the QR code on screen. But that is aura.com/CCSUAREZ, and you will be quite surprised at how much of your information is out there. But no worries, because you can take advantage of that 14-day free trial and have Aura start taking your information off of these spooky websites and keeping you safe online and in person. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video and being a continued sponsor of my channel. Thank you to you guys for supporting my sponsors and me so that I can continue to put out truly unhinged content for you. Now back to the video. So let's go ahead and set the stage. The Turning Point USA stage, that is. According to bios and write-ups, Isabella Moody, often branded as Isabella Riley Moody, which if that isn't a name you would see on Pornhub, I don't know what is, but she's not on there. So she is a right-wing influencer, commentator, if you will, podcast host, and content manager. She's been a face on the Whatever podcast, worked as head of content management and social media for a conservative political marketing firm called Arsenal Media Group, and has been affiliated with conservative brands like PragerU and Turning Point USA. She also has publicly branded herself as a Christian wife, mother, homemaker, host, and follower of Christ, and describes her content as too obnoxious and offensive for mainstream platforms, which is why she's pushed people to paywall platforms like Gumroad for her uncensored takes. Her husband, who looks like he's 12, but in recent years has grown the dirtiest looking neck beard, is a far-right YouTuber and MAGA content creator who appears with her on their channels. News outlets describe the pair as ultra-conservative, Trump-aligned influencers pushing traditional Christian values together online. So that's the headline, or what they're supposed to be. Like, that's the ideal branding, if you will, is traditional Christian family values. Now let's talk about what they actually do. Now, a publication or account, whatever you want to call it, called Right Wing Watch, that is a mouthful. They track far-right extremists, which that is what these people are, in my opinion. They highlighted a clip where Isabella basically said that her career plan or business model, if you will, is to just, and I quote, say the N-word as much as possible. And no, that's not a, I said it while singing a song. That's not a, oh, I grew up in Miami or I'm Dominican type of thing, right? Nope. That was her simple plan to make it as a commentator. Step 1, say the N-word more. Oh, really now? Nothing like being racist for clout, am I right? There's got to be easier ways, girl.
As your father figure or a mentor, I want to advise you not to say these things. Fuck you. Literally go F yourself. Your words don't hurt. Let's stop continuing this narrative. Literally, I cannot stand it. It is so annoying. I'm so thankful that, well, I mean, not that I'm trying to out my dad, okay, because he's told me the things you say are going to make it harder for you to become successful in the career you're trying to be successful in, which I literally said, that's fine. That's fine. Like, part of who I am is pushing the boundaries. Don't tell me what I can and cannot say. F you. Literally years ago, I had like a calendar on my wall in my apartment. Josiah can attest to this. And I didn't even have a single plan written down. The only thing I had written down was say more. Like, literally, because at the time, so many conservatives were trying to blacklist people and silence people and scare people away from using that word. And not that, the more you guys tell me not to use it, the more I want to use it. Okay. And I know finally it's finally becoming acceptable and trendy. So I'm not going to stop using it because I've always been using it. But I literally had that written in my calendar as a little reminder. Do not let these fags censor you. It's a word. Words only have as much power as you give them. I'm going to keep saying them, and shut up.
Now, when people tell you words don't mean anything, people are just too sensitive, and then simultaneously says, my plan to get famous is to repeat not only one of the most violent racial slurs in the English language with a hard R, but a bunch of other ones too. In my opinion, I think that just is her admitting that she doesn't understand that those words actually carry that much power. That's the whole point of using it. Using something as an insult. If you're using it as an insult to make fun of someone, your intention is there. So you can't say that word means nothing when it is what your entire insult is propped up by. So if those words mean nothing, then your insults and arguments mean nothing as well. But they don't, because you're trying to make it as a commentator. So do your words and arguments hold value, or do they not? Do they have power, or do they not? It's very, very, in my opinion, contradicting and hypocritical. Now, if you somehow think that, oh, it's just rage bait, it's just being super edgy on the internet. What are you doing here? How did you get here? You're dumb. You're dumb. Sorry to insult you, but are you okay? I don't think so. Let's talk about the baby video. In April 2024, Isabella and Josiah posted a video of their 6-month-old baby babbling. They claimed that the baby was saying the N-word and they were thrilled about it. Josiah posted clips first on Twitter. Then he tagged the Hodge twins, who are Black, asking whether his baby gets a pass to say it. And then Isabella posted to her own account with the caption, "My daughter literally saying the N-word. I'm so proud of her." Imagine being such a boring human and having quite literally nothing to offer of value in regards to intellect or personality, anything like that, that saying slurs is like your thing. I would say that's sad, but it's not, I don't feel any compassion for these people. I feel compassion for the little baby. That's wild. Not to make it about me, but hey, it's my channel. There's the stark contrast there that some people call an excavator. My son is 2.5. He's real big into construction equipment. Some people call an excavator a digger because it's easier for kids, toddlers, to say digger rather than excavator. He said it once. He said digger once. And my husband looks at me and I said, maybe we just stick with excavator. We don't say when we see some construction equipment and it's got an arm and a boom and a bucket and a cab, we say excavator. We do not say that it is a digger. So yeah. Yeah, not being racist. Yeah, avoiding saying it at all costs. Anyways, so yeah, there's that. So back to the claim to fame of their 6-month-old baby. The video exploded, around 30,000 views on Josiah's account, and then nearly 6 million once Isabella posted it. The backlash was immediate and intense. People called out blatant racism, the exploitation of their child for clout and outrage and rage bait, and the fact that they were essentially using their baby as a prop for hate content. And what did they do? They posted racist memes. They said not nice things, insulted people's parents, you know, anyone who was going to critique them. And then they were bragging that liberals were triggered. I wouldn't even classify myself as a liberal, and I'm white. And I would say that would give me the ick. And like, I don't think that's okay. That's crazy. So Josiah then filmed himself on Twitter with the baby and said something along the lines of like, want a hack on how to grow your social media following? Get your baby to say something close to this slur. Yes, because that is going to result in a cohesive community of supportive individuals who are not going to turn on you in any second, and a long career of respect and admiration. Insane. And they even shared that they made less than $5, $4.50 from this racist rage bait. You can believe in it wholeheartedly. It can still be rage bait. You're just trying to bait people. That's what that is. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're trolling. And that's even more embarrassing, honestly. So it's not just words. It's using racism as a business model. But wait, there's more. We're gonna keep going. We got about 7 more, but wait, there's more. So it's not only built on racism and all of the phobias, obviously. We already made that arachnophobia joke, but also homophobia. This is one of my favorite ones that they talk about, because although I might listen from the outside, coming from a conservative Republican family, I grew up in one of them, being in the South, being someone who does own a large amount of firearms, just bought my husband a new one for our 10-year wedding anniversary. Beautiful. And married to someone in law enforcement. And guess what? I'm white. I don't know if you could tell, but I am. However, Reddit page isn't going to like that I'm going to mention being bisexual again, but I am a bisexual woman, yes, married to a man. I like to refer to it as a lavender marriage because although I do love him so much, he is the only man I would ever be with going forward. Anyways, so yeah, I do love God. I pray almost every night. However, I do think we should be able to have freedom of choice, you know? So really, I'm just a walking contradiction to these types of people, and I would break their brains and their wieners. However, this is wild. Like, this is disgusting. And honestly, first of all, I can't even conceive racism at all. Like, you're mad that their skin's darker than you or that it's not the same color? Like, that's got nothing to do with you. Why are you mad about it? They're born that way. They can't help that. Literally popped out that way. Guess what else happens at birth, or you're born that way? Being gay. Now, let me get 2 things straight and one thing gay. It's gotta be the gayest thing in the universe to have such strong opinions about and to concern yourself so much with what other consenting adults do together in the bedroom. Worried about other people's genitals, what they got, what they don't got, what they want to have. Sounds gay. Sounds like there's gay afoot. All right. You smell that? Gay. Anyways, all jokes aside, this is weird. All right. Now, Isabella's homophobia isn't just jokes, because first and foremost, where's the punchline? Gay ain't the punchline. That isn't a punchline. There are definitely funny gay jokes. Don't get me wrong. Have you talked to a drag queen? hilarity ensues. Like, girl, they'll eat you up. However, when the punchline is, you're black, you're gay, that's lazy, it's not funny, it's unintelligent. And again, it just shows that you can't put together a cohesive thought, basically. Hate just consumes you. You got to get creative. Come on. In 2023, she was named an outspoken ambassador by the Log Cabin Republicans, a conservative LGBTQ plus group. That alone raised some eyebrows, given multiple outlets documenting her as what she calls herself a straight homophobic bitch, using anti-gay slurs on her show and openly wishing society would be more homophobic.
People say my existence is controversial. Well, you know, some might get alarmed by the gay flag on the yarmulke, the iwaka for the ews, but I mean, all yarmulkes are gay, so this is just, you know, making it out in the open for all the normies to understand that. And I mean, you're a ginger gay ew. Again, just be deported to Israel. Just go be with your people. Go be happy. You know, go cheerlead genocide, and I don't know, get on your knees, get some knee pads. Maybe I'll send you some knee pads for sucking Nyanya Ew's disgusting schlong. You're welcome.
Coverage from queer and progressive outlets also note that on her show Moody with Isabella, she hosted an American First activist associated with the white nationalist Nick Fuentes, made anti-Semitic jokes and comments with him, and then even ended the segment by saying Heil Hitler as a sign-off. After the widespread backlash, her name quietly disappeared from the Log Cabin Republicans ambassador list. Later that same year, because she's not done yet, when Uganda passed an infamous anti-LGBTQ law that includes the death penalty for same-sex activity, she reacted with a tweet that simply said, "Based Uganda." So when Isabella Moody talks about freedom of speech and it's just telling jokes, again, where's the punchline? Explain the joke to me. Why is it funny? Because it's not. It's not funny. It's lazy and unintelligent and hateful. It truly is wild because we used to be, oh my God, I'm about to sound like such a boomer. We used to be a nation of people who, like, even in media, like, who not loved the idea of killing Nazis, but like, yeah. Hello, Inglorious Bastards, anyone? Hello? Are you there? What's going on here? That's one of the, if not the greatest accomplishment the United States of America. Hold on, that didn't feel right. That's better. Killing Nazis is one of the best things the United States of America has done for the world. Oh God, it fell off. And yet here we are having people with the America first and like patriotism and all that type of rhetoric being pro-Nazi. That is backwards. Like, I'm in the upside down right now, right? Crazy. So on top of that, racism, homophobia, of course there's going to be transphobia because the frogs are turning your kids gay, and so are the public schools and, you know, all that. So here's a Telegram promo for her show titled "Trans Terrorists Might End America," pushing a narrative that trans people are a systematic threat to the country. And then there's social media posts and videos where she complains that using they them pronouns is harder than calculus on steroids and frames basic respect as some outrageous burden.
You preferred your pronouns to be they and them. They, them. Okay. So, do you need me to explain how to use that? Nope, because I'm not going to.
As she shouldn't. Listen, as a proud grammar Nazi here, guilty as charged. Using the they, them pronouns is harder than freaking, like, calculus on steroids. Okay? Do not let them police your speech. Do not let them bully you into using the fucking pronouns. Okay, they're stupid, okay? And the more people that just acclimate and try to appease them, the worse our country gets. So stop it. Take inspiration from me. I'm not the model. I'm just saying, be abrasive, be fearless when it comes to standing up for truth. And also, have a little fun. Fuck you, they, thems. You're all
And here are some tweets where she uses transgender as an insult. Again, using something along the lines of literally looks transgender. That alone is the punchline. And now this isn't just disagreeing with gender identity, right? Also, how many trans people do you know? This is a microscopic percentage of not only the world, but let's just stick with the US because that's what we're talking about here, but of the US. Of course, yes, there's queer individuals, obviously, but people who are transgender. That is such a small percentage. How in the hell are those people just existing being a systematic threat? What? And obviously there's a difference between you not understanding someone's gender identity, you not understanding the way that they feel comfortable living their life. Let's put it that way. The way that they feel free and safe and comfortable and the most like themselves. Well, guess what? It's not your life and you don't have to live it. So who cares? Now, if you have questions, hopefully, you have maybe, someone who can answer those questions for you. It's also not the one trans or gay person in your life. It's not their responsibility to educate you on things. So please, for the love of God, stop asking, which is like one of our worst problems, being one of the B's, which thank God that's one of our only problems. Other than, leather jackets and dainty tattoos, it's an epidemic. But please stop asking bisexual women if they are still bisexual, even if they're married to a man, and then trying to equate it to being a non-practicing vegan. The next person who asks me, I'm going to go make out with their mom. So anyways, yes, if you are, in this space, you probably are going to know more individuals who identify as trans, right? However, these people, you think they got a bunch of theys around them, a bunch of gentle thems? No. So it quite literally has no effect on her life, yet it bothers them so much. That is weird. Again, it's okay to not understand something. It's okay to be ignorant to certain information and not get it. You don't have to get it, but that doesn't mean that you can label trans people as terrorists or a reoccurring punchline or using transgender as an insult or a slur. Also, hey, like I said before, being so consumed and concerned about other people's genitals, that's fucking weird. Worry about your own, please. That's a perfect segue to this next segment that I like to call gay, because we need to talk about Isabella Moody's husband, Josiah. First of all, awful name. Horrible. When your parents named you that, did they just hand you that special weird Mormon underwear that has like scripture that touches the ball sack? They probably came with that, didn't it? Anyways, this guy looks like he's 12. What is happening here? However, within the last year and a half, maybe year, looks like he has really committed to, I wish it was a bit, it's not, committed to the neck beard. It is unkempt. It is disgusting. I cannot imagine that his wife ever touches it. It just looks like a Brillo pad under here. And it when you see videos of him, it doesn't even look like hair. It just looks like a whole, he just went crazy with contouring right here. It's insane and offensive. I think his neck beard might be the most offensive part of them in general. Or it might be that he's against giving his wife orgasms. That might be the part I'm the most upset about. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out by the end of this video. So buckle up, because in a viral, unfortunate for us, appearance in a podcast clip, whatever, that him and his wife went on with Luke Beasley, because of course that's that guy's name, on The Grudge, Josiah argued that the best part of sex is reproduction. Are you listening? Okay. And that having sex with your wife for pleasure or for orgasms, rather than for the sole purpose of making babies, is gay sex. Yep. Having sex for pleasure rather than for the purpose of procreating is gay sex. I don't know about y'all, but I be having a lot of gay sex then. A lot. At least twice a week. Sometimes 3. It gets real gay up in here then. Now, in this clip, he brags about his wife, that she came off birth control as soon as they got married, says he doesn't value sex for an orgasm, only reproduction, and then claims that gay sex is essentially any sex that focuses on mutual pleasure instead of baby making.
Yeah, I mean, you're having sex and you can't reproduce. The best part about having sex is reproduction. Seriously. I don't value sex because of an orgasm. I value sex because I know that I am going to reproduce and have another baby.
Maybe the orgasm aren't good enough. Kidding. Sorry.
Pain. I mean, seriously though, the best part of it's why as soon as we got together, she's off birth control. As soon as
we got married, yeah.
As soon as we're together, it's no birth control, nothing, because I'm not gonna have gay sex. And gay sex is more than just another man and a man. It's just the idea of looking at sex as such a materialistic thing and just oh, well, we just have an orgasm and that's fun or whatever. No, dude, sex is about having children. It's about having babies. You pump yourself full of birth control and then you have sex with your wife and there's no purpose there except just pleasure.
When Beasley asked about that logic when it comes to infertile couples, Josiah responds that he's pro people committing to celibacy for the rest of their life.
That's the only purpose.
Should people who are born infertile have sex?
It depends. Listen, I am pro people committing to celibacy for the rest of their life. I am pro that. And if that was something that they couldn't have babies, I believe that they should have that choice there.
Well, they have the choice.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, is
so
that what you believe is correct? Infertile people, no sex for you.
I think that it's crazy. Infertile people don't think. I don't see anybody really saying that, hey, I'm infertile, so I'm going to be celibate for the rest of my life. I'm not going to touch sex. I'm not going to have sex.
You think these crazy people don't say that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that would be very honorable.
No gay sex with women, guys.
Very true. I agree.
Now, I don't know about y'all. Watching this man-child speak is infuriating. Actually, I wouldn't say infuriating. He is so dumb that like my brain glitches when he speaks. I would just want to turn it off. It makes me want to take a nap. Like I'm tired after watching clips of this guy. And you can even tell with the interviewer, he's like asking the question multiple times and like trying to like weave through the guy's answer because it doesn't make any sense. So if someone's infertile, so for instance, my uterus doesn't work anymore. We had one kid, love him so much, light of my life. So now I shouldn't be able to have sex ever again? That doesn't make any sense. Also though, when it comes to that, if he isn't having sex for pleasure ever with his spouse, does that mean that they are only doing it when she's ovulating and if they want to have another child? Again, so like not having sex at all, so only during that time frame. So like let's say 1 to 3 times a month and no other time during the month. That's a long time. Interesting. And listen, there are people who aren't as like touchy-feely, people who aren't as sexual, who aren't as physical in relationships, period, but in marriage. However, the Bible doesn't say that. So I don't know if that's like literally what he's getting that from, but people really just be making up their own interpretations of the Bible when like, yes, some people can say like, oh, it's open to interpretation, but also like it doesn't say that. So like, where are you interpreting that from? Because it doesn't say that. It's like that meme where Jesus is like, that's not what I meant. Right? From what the Bible itself clearly teaches, it would be incorrect to assert that marital sex must only be for procreation. The scriptural record supports the view that sex in marriage can, and is meant to, include intimacy, pleasure, emotional bonding, and mutual support. The idea that sex is only for making babies seems to come from later tradition or interpretation rather than an explicit biblical mandate. Scripture encourages intimacy within marriage, where spouses, quote, give one another conjugal rights, end quote. In 1 Corinthians 7:3-5, the Apostle Paul instructs married couples not to withhold sexual intimacy from one another except temporarily by mutual consent. It just seems like a weird stance to have instead of being like, oh no, I'm not that physical of a person or something like that. I don't know. It just, also it's very like Amelia Bedelia, but it's like that one scene from that Steve Carell movie, the one with Steve Carell and Paul Rudd, Dinner for Schmucks. I love that movie. When he talks about like not knowing where the clitoris is. And he's like, I thought I saw it under the bed one time, but it turns out that was just a piece of chewed up gum. This guy doesn't know about that, it sounds like. And like, why not? You're married. There's nothing bad about that. Hey, listen, babe, Balesa's also got like waterproof blankets. Put that shit down. Get it. Get slippery and slidey, okay? So that sounds like a miserable marriage to be in, not only with the neck beard, that Brillo pad under his chin, but also with like, why wouldn't you want to make your partner feel good, right? Like it's just so absurd. It's so absurd to me. Maybe it's just because I value that so much in my marriage and I'm just always trying to snuggle with this man. And that's one of the ways I feel loved a lot. And I know it's with him as well. So it sounds like it's just rooted in misogyny and like women are only there for making babies. If women are only there for making babies and that's the only reason you have sex and we're just incubators and you believe in all these traditional values, why does your wife have a microphone? Why is she have a bigger platform than you? Why does she clearly make more money than you? So you're yapping about these traditional values and how, trad wife this, trad wife that, and like nuclear family, blah, blah, blah. But yet you have a disgusting neck beard looking like Benjamin Button, but also she's making more money than you. And she's having all of these men. I've looked through her demographics. It seems like most of her audience on social media is men. So you have all of these men following and watching your wife, and arguably, per their analytics, she has a bigger following, she gets better views, she makes more money on social media if her social media platforms are all monetized, which I do not know if they are. I actually reached out to Isabella Moody for a statement and I asked her about those demographics, if she could confirm it, if she has ever been kicked off of a social media platform for violating their terms of service regarding, hate speech. And then I didn't say hate speech, but I said terms of service. And then also if her social media platforms are monetized, and then also if she's playing a character or if she really does believe what she is saying. I did not get a response. I can check right now though. Let me see. I did not receive a response. Then again, like I said, I sent it like 24 hours ago, but still have not received a response from her. If I do, I will put it in the comments below. All right, friends. So that is it for this video. It's most likely definitely going to get demonetized. So please support the sponsor. Please comment on this video. Please share it. I would really appreciate it. If you don't comment, I'm going to scream and pay an Etsy witch to put a curse on you and your dog or cat or your bird. Anyways, if you are subscribed though, and you do leave a comment, I really do appreciate you. And I just need you to know that your butt looks so, so, so good. I'm sorry that we covered these infuriating people today. They are dorks. They are weirdos. They are losers. And they don't have good looking butts. They really don't. However, you do if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, I've already sent your information to that Etsy witch. So you can quickly have it voided if you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, weekend, whenever you're watching this. Please know that you are valuable. Your feelings are valid, and stay assertive, stay spicy. I was about to say stay slimy. I just sounded like a snake there for a minute. You can stay slimy too if you want. I don't know. Get that Balesa blanket, girl. But stay spicy, stay assertive. Feral, do you dare? And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.